Hello everyone, welcome to this tutorial by Zebra Code. In this tutorial, we are going to look at how to compile and execute Java files through the Windows 10 command line, the CMD. There are some reasons why you would want to do that, as there are already a lot of IDEs out there that can help you to easily write and compile your Java code. One of the reasons why you would want to write your Java code and execute it through the command line is to make it possible to work with some programs that don't really have a compiler with them. In other words, you would have to make some configurations for it to work. It is a lot easier to run the code from the command line than trying to make some configurations for some IDEs. Another reason why you would want to execute your code through the command line is to test your code is actually working by writing it yourself without the aid of the autocomplete or a suggestion hints from some IDEs. As a learner, it is very important that you know how to write your Java code without relying on any help, so that you master the code, the syntax very well. It is also a good reason to run it from the command line, even if you are an expert Java programmer, so that you can actually write everything without relying on the autocomplete from the IDEs. These and some other reasons are why you would want to use the CMD on Windows 10 to execute your Java code. But now, with that out of the way, let's look at some other tasks that we are going to do in the process of running the Java code from the command line, so that you know exactly how it works. I'm not going to assume here that you already have the Java JDK installed on your computer. To be able to understand it very well, I would want us to go through the process of downloading and installing the Java JDK, the process of setting up the environment variables, the process of setting up the Java home, because without the Java home, there are some issues that you may face when you are trying to run the Java code or execute the Java code through the CMD. Then the process of creating files with Notepad, Qt, and Sublime Text, so that you know how to write it in those IDEs and at the same time run it through the command line, as well as the process of running Java program from Windows command line when you have set up everything. It won't be difficult, but you just need to really understand how all these things come together. Now, let's start with the first task of downloading and installing the Java JDK, then before we complete the remaining tasks. First, you can check to see whether Java JDK is already installed on your computer or not. To do that, click on the search field on the bottom left and type in CMD to open the command prompt. Now, with the command prompt opened, type in Java -version. If you get a message similar to this, Java is not recognized as an internal or external command or preview program, or batch file, or any other error message, it means that the Java JDK is not installed on your system. So now let's go and download the Java JDK and install it. To do that, open your favorite web browser and go to the Google website. In the search field, type in Java JDK and you will get some results like this. Click on the first link and that will take you to the Java JDK download page. As at the time of recording this video, the Java SC15 is the latest. Maybe by the time you will be watching this video, the version would have changed then, but the page is likely going to look similar or look the same. So Under the Oracle JDK link, click on this link that says JDK download. And on this page, scroll down a little bit until you come to where it says Java SE Development Kit 15.0.2. And here we are going to select the right package for our platform. In my case, it is the Windows 10 platform that I am on, and we will use the Windows x64 installer to install it. Now click on this link, and here click on this tick box and click on download. The package we download, it is a .exe file, that is an executable file. Once we have downloaded it, we will install it straight away. Now it has finished downloading. To install it, click on Show in Folder, and you will find it wherever it has been downloaded to on your computer. In my case, it was downloaded to the Downloads folder. I'm going to install it now by clicking on it. If you get any Windows security question, click on Yes. Then you will get a pop-up message like this. This is going to take you through the installation process. Click on Next. Here it says where it is going to be installed in. It is going to be installed in your C drive, Program Files, Java JDK 15.0.2. Here click on Next. Be patient with the installation process. Now it has completed the installation process. The installation was successful. If you want to take their tutorial, you can go through their tutorials from here. If not, click on Close. We cannot close these windows. Close this one, close this one, close that or minimize that one. And now we need to configure it. Alright, now that we have downloaded and installed the Java JDK, it is possible to run a Java file through the command line just with the installation of the Java JDK without setting the environment variable. There are some limitations to that though, but let's quickly try it out so that you know exactly what I'm talking about. To do that, in the search area, type in CMD to open the command line prompt. Once the command line prompt is opened, we can now create a folder on our desktop. I will call it My Java Work. With the command line open, type in Notepad and hit enter. That will open a new Notepad file for us. Let's create a Java class file. Public class intro. I'm going to add the main method to it. Public static void main string arguments. So system, we are going to print out something now. System.out.println say running Java from the command line is fun. Now save it. We are going to save it inside this folder, my Java work. File, save as, inside my Java work, intro.java. Save. All right. Now we need to navigate to that folder on our desktop. CD, desktop, enter, CD, my Java work, enter. Great. This is where we can now compile it. But before we do the compilation, there's one important thing we need to do. We need to set the path here to the folder that we installed the JDK in. That was in our C drive, program files, Java JDK 15.0.2/bin. So copy everything here. Make sure you include bin in it. Now we have copied it. Here we are going to set the path. Write this there, please. Set what? Set path. Path equals %, semicolon. Now in between the %, type in again path, so that you have set path equals %, path, %, semicolon. After the semicolon, now paste the path that you have just copied, which is in the C drive, program files, Java JDK 15.0.2/bin. Hit enter. Great. Now we can compile and run our Java file from here. To do that, type in Java C intro, that is the name of the file, .java. Hit enter. Great. The compilation was successful. Everything went well. Now let's run it. Java intro. Hit enter. Great. Running Java from the command line is fun. We have been able to create it and run it successfully. Let's correct that line and then add another line. System dot out dot println learning Java is fun. Learning Java is fun. Save it. Again, file, save. To be able to preview this file now, to be able to run it, we need to compile it. Again, Java C intro.java. Compilation was successful. Now let's run it. Java intro. Great. Running Java from the command line is fun. Learning Java is fun. So everything was done successfully. But what happens if we have an error in the file? For example, if I say system dot out dot println I love Java. In this line, I have deliberately omitted the semicolon. So let's see the error message we are going to get here. The compiler error message. Save. Now we saved it. Once again, let's compile it. We have one error here. And it says here system out println I love Java. It's pointing us here to where the error is, which is great. It shows now that something is wrong here. That is the missing semicolon. Now I'm going to add the semicolon to it. Save it again. File. Save. Now let's compile it. Great. The compilation was successfully done. So let's run it. Java intro. That is great. Running Java from the command line is fun. Learning Java is fun. I love Java, which is exactly what we expected. Everything is fine. This method is easy to do, but there is a problem with it. The problem with it is each time we want to run it from the command line like this, we will have to set the path. If I close down the command line now and return to it or open a new one, I will have to set the path again. That is the disadvantage of using this approach. So to overcome that disadvantage, we will now have to set the environment variables so that we don't have to be doing this over and over. But if you are happy with it, you can do this. Now we are going to set the environment variables and set the Java home so that we don't have to be entering it manually like we did in the last task. Alright, now let's set the environment variables and set the Java home. To do that, first of all, copy the path to where we have installed it. We installed it in the C drive, program files, Java JDK 15.0.2/bin. Copy everything. And now in the search field, type in variable. It will bring the edit system environment variables. Click on it. Here, under system properties, advanced, click on environment variables. Here at the bottom, under system variables, click on path. Now click on edit and click on new. Paste what we have just copied and click OK. OK again. So now let's set the Java home. To do that, click on environment variables. This time, under system variables, the bottom part of it, click on new and type in Java underscore home. Java underscore home, everything capital letter. Now paste what we just copied, but remove the last part of it, bin, so that it ends with JDK-15.0.2 and click OK. OK and OK. That's all there is to it. Now we have successfully set our environment variables and set the Java home. To test that everything was done correctly, let's open the command line. In the search field, type in CMD. And this time, let's check the Java version. Java -version. Hit enter. Great. Now it tells me that we have a Java version 15.0.2 as our Java version. And the runtime environment is also built. So we now have both the runtime environment and the JDK installed. Unlike the past where you have to install them separately, but this time they are both installed together. Also, let's test the Java C -version. Oh, that was a typo there. No space between hyphen and version. Java C version. Exactly, it says Java C 15.0.2 was installed. There is something important you need to understand here. If we go to the bin folder, you will find out that those files are executable files. They are .exe file. The first one we executed was Java version, which is here. This is the java.exe file that we have executed. The second one is the Java C version, which is this one here. So with this process of running Java from the command line, you will get to understand some of the .exec files better. It depends on what you are looking for, but they are all here in the bin folder. So that is how you run Java program from the command line, by setting the path directly from the CMD and checking that the path has been set correctly through the environment variables. Alright, now that we have successfully created a Java class file and run it through CMD by using Notepad, we can also create a file through Qt and run it from the command line. To do that, I'm going to open my text editor, which is the Qt creator, and create a new Java file. New Java file, and choose here. I will call it clickme.java, and I am going to navigate to the same folder on the desktop as my Java work and save it there. Okay, I'm going to save it now in my Java work folder. So click next, click finish. So I'm going to delete this one, and to save time, I'm going to paste this code there just to test it. Save it. Now let's compile and run it. To do that, I will open the command line from the search area, type in CMD, command prompt. Let's navigate to the same folder on the desktop. First of all, CD to desktop, enter, CD to the folder, my Java work, enter. Now we can compile it, Java C, click me.java, enter. Yes, the compilation was successful. Now let's run it, Java, click me, enter, file, click me. So we can minimize it, maximize it, click on it. It's not doing anything here because no action was added to it. The main reason of doing this is to explain to you that you can create a Java file from Qt and run it from the command line. Close it. Now we have done the first two. That is, we have created a file in Notepad and run it through the command line. We have created a Java file in Qt and run it through the command line. The last one is the Sublime Text, which many people also use to create different files. Alright, this last part of it, we are going to run the same file through Sublime Text. That is, we will paste the code in Sublime Text and run it through command prompt. To do that, we need to open the folder through Sublime Text. I have created a class file called fun. I'm going to paste the code there, same thing, just save it. So now let's run it, CMD, CD, desktop, CD, my Java work, enter. Let's compile it, Java C, fun.java, enter. Yes, the compilation was successful. Now let's run it, Java fun, hit enter. Exactly, it runs successfully as well. Click me. So this is how you create a Java file in Sublime Text and run it through the command line on Windows 10. I hope this process was easy for you to follow and understand. So in this video, we have successfully downloaded and installed the Java JDK on Windows 10. We have been able to run a Java file through the command line without setting the environment variables. We have also been able to set environment variables, set Java home. We have created some Java files through Notepad, Qt, and Sublime Text and run them successfully through the command line on Windows 10. One thing is important for you to understand, that whenever you are writing code on some text editors, they don't help you to generate the code, or they don't give you any hints. So you need to be very sure of what you are writing. It's a way to put into practice what you have learned. It's a way to reassure yourself that you are confident doing what you are doing by coding Java on a text editor. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you for watching.